Beats Planet.
Man, listen, man. Let me just tell you something, man. This draft, Cowboy fans, this is this what happens when Jerry Jones kick people out the room? When we kick people out the club? Is this what happens when Jason Garrett and Rod not involved? Is this what happens when we just stick to the board? I got questions. Is this what happens when Will got 100% control? Is this what happens? Man, I couldn't do this by myself, man. I was going to drop a reaction video 30 minutes ago because it was lit, man. But I had to get some help. I had to get me and Brother Foots the King in here, man, because I know I got some knowledge. Foots got some knowledge. We're going to put it together, and we're going to run this thing top to the 6th pick. We're going to run this thing top to relatively bottom because we got so much conversation, so much knowledge. We got so much shit to go over, man. My mind was blown. First, we're going to start from the first round pick all the way to the last one. But let me just say this as a whole, right?
Talk about it.
We got 6 top 100 players in one draft. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
First of all, can the good people out there hear me?
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, y'all.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Make sure we can hear Foots. You should be able to hear Foots, but let's get a thumbs up confirmation if you can hear Foots.
Yeah, because I'm going to say this. Okay, all right, bet. Everybody, all right, we good, Vacho. I'm looking at the comments. So
we good. Let's run it.
Here we go. First of all, Vach, thank you for having me on.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say your work, first of all, before I forget, because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to say your work throughout this draft, bro, phenomenal, bro. Like me and my girl was listening to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I had to step away, I had to train the kids this morning, came back, you was locked in. Yeah. Like, you the man, bro. You know what I'm saying? I cover this draft stuff, but you cover this draft stuff, man.
Appreciate it.
That being said, man.
Yes, sir.
I haven't felt this optimistic. And I know at the end of the day, there's times when a team more or less can, whereas when your team drafts, you can get crazy.
Yeah.
This isn't crazy, guys, because me and Voch have been on countless number of times.
Right.
And I'm going to be honest with y'all.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is not a reach by me saying,
right,
this may be better than the 2016 draft. And I'll tell you why in this video. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say, Voch.
You know,
this draft may be better than 2016, and I'll tell you why in this video. Let's talk this talk, Slim. Let's go.
So let's just do this top to bottom, man. We're gonna start with the first round pick at 17th overall, man. Sedarian Lamb. Voch been kind of calling for that for a month, maybe like 2 months. I don't really know. It's just all kind of running together at this point, man. You know, people were saying that there was no chance he falls past Oakland. Right. In my mind, I would rather say, you know, he probably won't make it past Oakland, but I don't trust Oakland. What we learned today, Foots, what we learned from these past few days in terms of drafting, we learned that we shouldn't have faith in all these teams as front office. Cowboys did fantastic, but teams like Philly, teams like Green Bay, teams like Seattle, they kept you in the fight because where they could have took a really good player off the board, they let one slide. Right. And everything that we needed, it worked out for us in terms of guys landing to us. You know what I mean? So with the first overall, with the first pick, 17th overall, we landed the best receiver in the draft. And I know a lot of people going to say Voch just gassing because, you know, that player is a Cowboy now. Voch is going to pretend like he like him now. Well, y'all go watch my ranking videos. Go watch my top 50 board. You know what I'm saying? Check out other people's top 50, top 100. We got 6 top 100 players here. And CeeDee Lamb falling to 17 was a gift.
So let me just say this.
Go ahead.
The minute that he got drafted, I texted Voch, and I think I shouted Voch out on Twitter. My Twitter's been crazy. Follow me on Twitter, guys, at Fuster King. I put it in the comment box.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys follow me. I'm lucky that Voch is following me because he don't follow everybody. Because you know what? He shouldn't, because he knows his stuff, and some of y'all be talking crazy. But anyway, let's talk about this for a second. Voch has been ahead of this. He's been so ahead of this, bro. I told him that he needs to open up a new business that lets people know what their future is going to look like. Because my man has been on this 110 grand, Voch. I want to tell you that. Now, I also want to give credit to the front office for a couple things.
Sure.
Just don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Don't. I love Caleb Von Chason. Yes. If you did the work on CeeDee Lamb and he's your 6th overall player, you draft him. You don't get Randy Moss and Greg Ellis. Okay.
I actually dropped the video of my live reaction or whatever from pick 12 to from pick 11 to pick 17, and some of the things that was going through my mind, because we've been burned by this organization before, Foots. A couple things that were going through my mind was, okay, CeeDee Lamb is on the board at 17. Chason is also there. I hope this ain't a conversation for real. You know what I'm saying? I hope this ain't a real life conversation that we could possibly say, oh, we're going to take Chason because he's our guy. We done the research on Chason. We need defensive end. I know CeeDee Lamb is our 6th overall player, but we're going to take Chason because we did the work on him. And Cowboys said, if everybody that we did work on, CeeDee Lamb is the absolute best player on the board right now. Let's make a splash. But this wasn't like a Jerry splash where we splashing just to make splashes. This made sense. The only free agent move that we didn't fix was Randall Cobb, slot receiver, right? Everything else kind of got worked on to some extent. The whole roster kind of got rebuilt to some extent. So we knew going into this thing, Lil Steven said, not Lil Steven, but Lil Jones. Steven said it. He said that we were looking for cornerback, we was looking for edge, we was looking for a receiver at some point. We didn't know when it was gonna be, but at some point. And they didn't even think CD was gonna fall. They didn't think CD was gonna get there. But the fact that they was there and they pulled the trigger, it gives me optimism about what we're gonna do moving forward. Now, Fuster King, how does this brand new wide receiver fits into your offense? Voch, where is he going to line up in your offense? Shit, everywhere.
I mean, to me, and I'll be honest, I'm not going to be fake. You know, I'm one of those people who, you know what?
Yeah.
I have reserves. I have some reserves about CeeDee Lamb. Mm-hmm. But talking to Voch, that's what listen, when you scout, bro, that's what you do. So I'm not just about to say, oh yeah, Voch would. Nah. Me and Voch have went to war on, not really went to war, but okay.
Delpit versus Lamb.
He's a Voch guy.
Delpit versus Lamb.
Mm-hmm. There's a big three. All right. The big three was obviously Ruggs, who I didn't see. So we said that this receiver class is very deep. There was a couple different runs on receivers. Mm-hmm. But then we also said that people will be surprised that Judy won't be the first. I remember that show, Voch.
Right.
I remember the show when we said people will be surprised that Judy probably or may not be the first pick chosen at that position. And sure enough, Oakland or Al Davis is Ghost drafted Henry Ruggs. And you know what? Yeah. Everybody in the AFC West said we're just going to try to play offense. Sure. With Kansas City. But anyway,
one more point of nuance. Some people were asking me, well, Voch, why is Lamb falling? Is he not as good as we thought he was? That's not the case. It's just that when I was in my brain, when I was coming up with the CeeDee Lamb falling to the Cowboys notion, I thought that some people would value these defenders because they're gonna run out, and when some of these teams that got 2 first-round picks, they were going to use their other pick on receiver, or they were just going to value different things. When you look at the Raiders, they value speed at wide receiver. When you look at Denver, they got a guy that's kind of yak guy already, you know, so they were going to value something different. So they value Judy over, rather than doubling up, putting Cortland Sutton with CeeDee Lamb. That just probably wouldn't just make sense to them. CeeDee Lamb probably could have been the best wide receiver on a lot of people's boards, but the fit just didn't go there, or just San Fran didn't want to pass up on D tackle when they just sent their D tackle to the Colts. What's his face to the Colts for the 13th pick. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's really what's your flavor of ice cream? All right.
Is what's your favorite
Our
ice cream?
flavor, our flavor, pause, was CD Lamb. Like
Sure.
to me, as long as that. So here's the biggest thing
Yes,
right
sir.
here.
Yes, sir.
CD Lamb in Dallas doesn't have to be a true one,
Sure.
especially not early.
Sure.
So he can learn the game. If he goes to Oakland and he's just thrown in the fire with a bad quarterback, with a quarterback who's not a leader,
Sure.
with the John Gruden, where it's like, does he really know how to develop players? Does he really know how to develop receivers?
Right.
Who's their receiver coach? Who's coaching them? What are they designing for CD Lamb? Or is it like just go out and run routes? The only question I've ever had about CD Lamb is how does he get off press? Okay, how does he get off press coverage? How does he beat press coverage? But that's fine in Dallas because he can be eased in. You can ease CD Lamb into this offense. Okay,
Yeah.
Week 1, you're not going to expect him to get 12 targets, maybe 4, 5, and then he'll just start to explode as the season goes on. You can use him in so many ways. But
you know what I'm saying, just a handful of notes on that. You know, we've been trying to get Amari Cooper in the slot for a while now. You know, so now you can finally do things like that. You can put Lamb outside, you can put Cooper inside. And your new head coach Mike McCarthy has talked about that. You can put CeeDee Lamb in the backfield, you can put him at slot, you can motion him, he could be your jet sweep guy, he can be your quick game guy, your bubble screen slant hitch dude. You want to get the ball in that dude's hands because he gives you something that the rest of these guys don't have. He may not be the nuanced route runner that Cooper and Gallup has kind of turned into, but he can develop his route running. What he brings you today is super yak ability. Is what he brings today, to where Cooper may be more of a shifty, slick, yak guy. We always say about Gallup, he's an angry runner, like a T.O. angry type runner. We always say it about Gallup. Well, CeeDee
Lamb is angrier.
Right. CeeDee Lamb, he can gauge these angles. He can see how guys are like coming towards him, and he could just make one step slip, and guys are just gonna miss him. When people say Lamb is yak guy, that he is broken tackles guy, he's not running people over. He's not lowering his shoulder, because some people was asking me that. Well, Voch, if he's such break tackle guy, is it gonna take years off of his football? You know what I'm saying? No, it's not, because he's not really taking hits. He's more so contact balance, slip, and make you miss guy. Then he may stiff arm you. Then he may lower his shoulder, run through you, but he's not doing like this Derrick Henry type of run style where he's gonna, wear himself down and all that.
Go ahead, but I didn't mean to drop you off. I'm sorry.
And my last super nuanced thought on Lamb before we can go to Foots and do whatever is the biggest reason I wanted him is that I didn't want to half step at any part of my offense, right? If y'all have any reservations about Dak, and you shouldn't, but if you have any reservations about Dak, it should only make sense that you give him some additional help. It should only make sense. We trying to win a Super Bowl. We ain't trying to win a popularity contest. We ain't trying to win no fashion show. We ain't trying to win with the least talent. We just want to win the damn bowl. And if that requires for you to make your offense untouchable, do so. So when we run across the Eagles and they say, "Oh, we got Darius Slay. We're gonna make Darius Slay follow Cooper all around the field." Cool. Deal with Michael Gallup. Gallup. Go ahead.
And I mean, honestly, guys, like the Lamb pick isn't what made. Well, in a blanket, the Lamb pick is it's what made this draft what it is. But
it was a good start.
That's not. Yeah,
it was a good start.
That was a great start. But how you finish this draft? Oh, get ready. But listen, one more point about Lamb: 62 receptions, 14 touchdowns last year. I remember when Dez would have 16 touchdowns. Some receivers, when he had, I think it was 2014, he had 16. The point is, some receivers know how to get in the end zone. Yeah. Meaning, what Voch is talking about with the yak stuff, it's real. Another thing that I want you guys to keep in mind, this is not the Jason Garrett regime. This is not the Jason Garrett way of doing things. I have faith in Mike McCarthy doing the right thing after he took a year off. I think a year was perfect, Voch. It was that sweet spot. Yeah. Not too long, but just long enough to keep up with the game and realize I wasn't doing things right. He set up his whole little his whole little camp. I love it.
Yep.
Don't overthink this guy, Voch. I'm gonna say that all off season.
Sure.
If he doesn't run a bang 8 right, don't make him run a bang 8.
Good.
If
Hey,
he doesn't run,
run a
come
little
on,
swing,
Bosh.
hand the ball off to him, a slant, a
Bruh.
hitch, screen, whatever. Just get the ball in his hands easily, quickly, and let him fly.
If he can run a fade right now, because he will go up and get that joint.
Sure.
Listen, if he can't, don't make him, let him be him. We got Amari Cooper to run the whole route tree, and he can run 3 route trees for the whole receiving corps.
Sure.
Amari Cooper is the route guy.
Sure.
Let him out.
But
Say too, but I'm sorry about quick disconnection.
Oh, yeah.
I would honestly say too. And we'll talk about this. I like Lamb starting off on the outside, but
Sure.
we'll get to that.
Sure.
That's a whole nother show.
To be fair, whatever the best matchup is, let's just run that and pick on them. Let's do what we got to do and pick on them. So at this point, at this point in the draft, Foots, I'm saying, man, look, I got my favorite player in the whole draft. I don't care who they get with the second round pick. And I was kind of anticipating them not doing the right thing. I was kind of anticipating them, you know what I'm saying, picking somebody I don't like.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? But we ended up getting a guy that was, I think, in my opinion, he was in the conversation at 17. Right?
Yeah.
If some of your favorite guys weren't there, I think Diggs was in that conversation at 17, or he would have been in that late first round conversation. So in my mind, we got a 1-2 player at 51, Trevon Diggs from Alabama, cornerback. Foots, just kind of give us a light little recap, and I'm just gonna piggyback on whatever you say.
Okay, so Trevon Diggs. This is where your draft started to get really good.
Yeah.
This is where your draft started to get really, really good. Haters, other organizations, everybody's going to point to the LSU game. That's fine.
Sure.
Cornerbacks get beat.
Everybody look bad versus LSU.
Cornerbacks get beat, Voch.
Right.
But if you're telling me, I've seen him clocked at a 4.2, so he's probably realistically a 4.3 guy.
Right.
I'm fine with that.
Right.
Okay. 4.3 guy, Voch.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is the most important thing about him is the upside is crazy.
He has so much room to grow for us. He's look, if you watch his film, he's a former receiver and he's only been playing cornerback since he's been in Alabama. So 2.5 years really. So in his third year, which was his first start, everything you saw from him was his first time starting at cornerback. And I think he did a damn good job being a first-time cornerback. But as you watch him, and I'm also getting to another nuanced big picture thought here after I just kind of sum up Diggs for a minute. What I saw from Diggs was he was using his wide receiver abilities to make himself a better cornerback. You know what I mean? He wasn't covering people with pure technique, with pure nuance. That's more of a Christian Fulton game, right? What we saw from Diggs was pure, raw athletic ability, attacking people. Press man, attacking people. Punching the hell out of people in their chest, attacking people. Driving his foot, running, pure athleticism. But then, the favorite thing I saw from Diggs was his bail technique. Right?
Dog.
That's basically, you know, if you the cornerback chasing a receiver, it's basically when you're in front of the receiver, not trailing behind him, right? So you just kind of bailed out. What I learned, and y'all can watch my film session that I just dropped like 3 hours ago or whatever. It was versus Texas A&M, the one play I showed or whatever. Like, he backpedaled for like 2 steps, and he recognized that the receiver was just gonna run up the numbers, was just gonna stack to the end zone. He just turned all the way around and got his head and found the football. He just immediately turned his head and found the football. Right now, what we have been getting from cornerback is we'll find the receiver and we'll just run with the receiver. We'll run with the receiver, and then when their hands go up, we'll just attack their hands. Diggs turns into the receiver because he's recognizing the route. And then he finds the football and he gets his hands on the football because he was the receiver. Go ahead, Foots.
So here's the thing right here, okay? This is definitely a Nick Saban thing, which I like. Dallas saying, you know what, that still may be their one Garrett thing, is that they got guys who play big time football other than the Tulsa pick, which I get it, but I'm not mad at that. Now watch this, Voch.
Mm-hmm.
When you're playing press, the one thing that you have to do is
Recover.
exactly, and you want to recover to the receiver's hip. You want to get to that near hip fast. He can run.
Yep.
All right, so I wanted Cam Dancer. Cam Dancer not fast.
Sure.
Cam Dancer can't run, and that's my dog, but he can't run.
Sure.
Listen, DB corner is a stopwatch position. Yeah. He can run, and the thing that you like is if he hits his ceiling, he's a keep to lead, and I mean that.
Sure.
And I'm serious about that now.
Mm-hmm.
If he hits his corner, if he hits his ceiling, he was only a 1-year starter. So hold on, excuse me. He was at receiver, transition to corner, and he can return punts as well. So he's best in press. Kind of the same with what we're saying with Lamb. Don't overthink him. Yeah. Don't overthink him, Voch.
Yeah. And
don't overthink this pick.
I like him.
His skill set.
Like how he is today, I like him how he is today. But he's good today with no cornerback technique, right? Imagine how he's going to be with the lessons, with the small nuances, with the coaching that he's going to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine how much better he can be, how much he can grow. I didn't necessarily have him competing as a year one guy, but he could. Let's get into that right now then. So we currently got Jordan Lewis, Cheeto, and we have Anthony Brown. I think Canada is going to be kickoff guy. Well, kicking game guy.
Correct.
What's his face? Goodwin. He might not make the team. We'll see.
I was about to say, does he make the team?
We'll see. Westry better have a spot on practice squad or something. Cause this room got a little more packed. What's my man's that we got free agency?
Westry, So we got hold up. If y'all want to do this talk, we can wait because I don't know about Chris Westry making the team. Yeah, because I also like this Tulsa kid too. To be honest with you.
Okay, cool. We'll get there. But in terms of Diggs right now. In real life, I can see Diggs not starting, not really. He can kind of play a little bit.
Can I give my thoughts on that when you're done?
Sure, absolutely. I see him as a day one kickoff gunner. You know what I mean? Just one of those high speed gunners, punt return. One of those guys. But if anything happens or whatever, or if he wins the camp battle, which can happen, I can see Diggs kind of coming in and just playing or whatever. But I think we got guys that can play in the league right now. We ain't got to rush Diggs out there. There's no need to rush Diggs right now. Let's just bring him in slowly, and when it's time for him, to run it. Go ahead, Foots. So
here's my plan with Diggs.
Yes, sir.
A couple things happen with these second-round picks. You ease them along, but you pray that they're not, Tristan Hill, who's another one who's really looking at Neville. Ooh.
We'll get
it's
there.
Gonna be hard for you. Okay, we'll get there. I'm sorry, Voch. I'm so excited. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Trayvon Diggs. Two things can happen. He could come in and he could show and prove in camp, and you just say, "I like him more. I like him more than I like Anthony Brown on the outside."
Sure.
He's longer. He's stickier, and Anthony Brown is better in the slot, which I think he is already, so it's fine. Or a situation like last year where you just have games where Cheeto just isn't playing good football.
Sure.
And it was funny because a couple fans really, really told me, it was one guy, and I shouldn't have let him do this, but I had to really chop him up dude, there's times when Cheeto was just awful last year. Yeah. And I had to refresh my memory which games. You guys help me out, but it was just bad. Just Cheeto was getting picked on. And that's also because Byron Jones was really good.
Sure.
But the point is, I just want him waiting in the wing. He's not ready immediately. But sometimes with these twos, Voch, they come in and they're ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And here's what people have to understand. Think about who he practiced against.
Sure.
So, I want everybody to take a step back from the screen and think about who he's practicing against.
Yeah.
He's practicing against what's that name?
Ruggs, Judy, Devontae Smith, and Waddle.
Devontae Smith.
And Waddle.
and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
That's how he had to get on the field,
Mm-hmm.
practicing against those guys. So I want you guys to really understand that if you can make it out of that gauntlet
Yeah.
at Alabama,
Sure.
oh, you can play. Now, everybody's gonna point to the LSU tape, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Chase is really good. Jamar Chase is really good.
Yeah.
Point to the LSU tape, but guess what? All these guys get beat.
Right.
So at the end of the day, Voch, that was the pick, especially because Dallas tried to trade back into the first round. I just said, wow, like things are really fun. And we said this would happen because we said tackles, weird inside linebackers that Seattle drafts for whatever reason.
Yeah.
AJ Terrell going to Atlanta for whatever reason.
Sure.
Weird things happen in the draft and they get pushed up. So guess what? Good players fall in the draft.
Yeah.
Mad Voch. I think that there was a few safeties on the board, but you had to make this pick. This was a knockout pick right here, knockout punch for sure.
You had to, man, and we knew going into round 2 that there was a lot of guys we liked on the board on defense. So in my mind, what I was thinking at this point, I was like, man, we just got our receiver. So Higgins can go. I wanted Mims to go off the board. Pittman went. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted all them receivers to go off the board because I wanted a really good defender to fall to me. And we ended up getting Diggs. And what that said to me is that okay, the more picks we make, the more clues we get about what we're gonna do with this team. On offense and defense. You know what I mean? Scheme wise. So we're gonna run a lot of press man, people. Get ready. Get ready. We're going to give up a lot more yards. We're going to get a lot more turnovers. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to be bend but don't break anymore. So y'all just get ready for that. And we'll talk about the other corner in a second. But Neville Gallimore, out of all the D tackles that, and I wasn't really looking for D tackle at this point. I was going to wait another round. I was looking at like safety or something. But with the D tackles on the board, I would rather Gallimore than some of the other guys. So Gallimore is a top 50 player on my board. I think he was like D tackle number 5 for me, I believe. So cool, perfect. That just kind of fits in with the narrative or whatever. I'm glad we didn't take Blacklock. I'm glad we didn't take Mata Buike. I'm glad we didn't get those guys. So at first foots, I had to catch myself and reevaluate what I was thinking. At first, I was thinking about Gallimore like, yeah, okay, we got Gallimore. But I was thinking about Gallimore in a sense of how I'd been feeling about him in the process. And in the process, people were saying that Gallimore was going to be a late first, early second round pick. You see what I mean? And that kind of gave me my thoughts, like my whatever thoughts on Gallimore. But to get Gallimore at 82, I would say that's some fantastic value getting him at that spot, getting him in the back of the third round. And go ahead.
So I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me first of all?
Yeah, you good?
Okay, because people saying I'm coming in and out. So give me those thumbs up again.
You are, but it ain't.
Here we go.
But it ain't terrible. Go
Voch, we had 1K, man. Shout out to you, dog. You really the homie.
Man.
So Gallimore.
Mm-hmm.
Were you done with your thought? Because I don't want to.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay, so when it comes to Neville, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think people don't understand value when it comes to a draft. I think people that's why you get a grade. So, like, I'll give you an example. The Eagles drafting Hurts. It's not good value in the second round.
Okay,
it's just not good value.
Okay, go ahead.
If you have these needs and you have your board and Jalen Hurts. I mean, hey, if your scouts have Jalen Hurts rated above some of these DBs that were there, some of the safeties that were there, which you need. Yeah. So let's be honest, guys. Everybody doesn't draft BPA. Everybody doesn't draft hell. The Cowboys traded up for a need, and that's fine. Like to say that the whole draft will be BPA, it's a lie. But I'm glad that the first round pick was BPA. Yeah. But anyway, to say that Jalen Hurts was rated higher than some of these players that you had on the board when you drafted him is just awful. You see what I'm saying? And so when it comes to Neville, you may not have had a glaring need at D tackle.
Yeah.
But when you look at that step box, I thought Tristan Hill had a first step and can move.
Sure.
Dog, this kid can move and he's stronger than Tristan Hill.
Sure.
And so, but I know we're not giving up on Hill, and I'm good with that.
Sure.
But I just think the word for this pick is value. This was the 8th pick, honestly, because the value. He definitely has second round grades all across the board, and you get him at the 8. You get him at the middle of the 3rd. You can't beat that.
So Neville Gallimore, right? I'm gonna drop a film session on him later, but I dropped the film session on him already. That was an in-game film session, and what I saw from his Oklahoma tape, I thought the Oklahoma defense coordinator was trying to do a little bit too much. They'll do things like line Gallimore up at 1 tech and make him slant all the way to C gap.
I saw that
just to have Kenneth Murray blitz B gap or something. You know what I mean? They were just trying to be a little too exotic. And what ended up happening was Neville just got a little too lateral for me, And we saw the first step. We saw the burst, right? But we didn't really see him win matchups too much because he was going sideways. He wasn't really penetrating and going forward. So I would say the one blessing that we got from Gallimore, which is going to be the highlight of my of the film session that I drop tomorrow, is him at the Senior Bowl. We got a chance to watch Neville Gallimore at the Senior Bowl, and they didn't line him up at 0. They didn't line him up at 5. He lined up at 1 tech a little bit, but he was a 3 tech defensive tackle. And
I don't like him at 1.
And that's where he's going to be. And what we saw from Neville Gallimore is a first step burst, busting ass upfield. And I was just so pleased with that. I'm
gonna tell you who he reminds me of. Cowboys fans, you'll love this. He reminds me of Jay Ratliff. When I saw him,
just a real quick. A quick short kind of
he reminds me like when Jay Ratliff was good, he was really good for the Cowboys. And when you told me to go watch, I said, okay, let me go see what Voch is talking about with this, this 2 gapping and a couple things, the slanting.
It was weird.
And I agree. I don't know, they had some funky things they were trying to do. Oklahoma. I think that what this regime is going to do defensively, they're going to scheme him up for to just go north, to just get up the field. And Tom Zula is an amazing D-line coach. So to me, the biggest thing with him is let's watch the weight so I want to make sure that he doesn't get lost in the rotation and he actually is playing where he's supposed to be. I don't like him at the 1, Voch. I don't. Like him at the 3. If that means that him and Tristan have to compete, then they got to compete. That's football. If you're saying, you know what, my second round pick from last year is kind of like how we felt about Taco or whatever, then it is what it is. But don't go into this thing and just wash him away. If he's better, let him play.
Here's my thoughts, right? Because I do have some negatives on Neville Gallimore, because what we do here, me and Foots, we just kind of give you the real regardless of what it is. I think Neville Gallimore is going to have to get into his pro football body. And I would like him to get a little stronger. Pro football stronger, not college football stronger. Because Tristan Hill in college was college strong, but it's different when you go against these grown men that's been working out their whole life. So in my mind, Foots, because a lot of people were asking me yesterday, they were asking me, well, Voch, us getting Neville Gallimore, what does that mean for Tristan? I don't think it means anything for Tristan necessarily. In my mind, this is what I think is going to happen. We have Gerald McCoy right now. Tristan Hill was developing last year. He was lifting his weights, eating his, you know what I'm saying, peanut butter jelly sandwiches or whatever, trying to bulk up a little bit, and he was just not around. This year, he's going to be behind Gerald McCoy. We don't know if Gerald McCoy is going to be here next year. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Neville Gallimore is going to play very much this year. Why? The same reason Tristan Hill didn't play much last year, because I think it's going to be developed guys in front of him, and defensive tackles do not play special teams. That's the difference. Diggs can play special teams for you. He can go be a gunner or something. Tristan Hill can't be a gunner for you. You know what I'm saying? And the same with Neville Gallimore. There's just not a lot of room for defensive tackles on special teams. So what's going to happen with Gallimore is I think he's going to make the roster, but he's going to be one of those not active guys, which makes sense. And we're going to let him develop. We're going to let him grow. He's going to get big, and I think he's going to be good to go next year. And him and Tristan Hill are going to be doing the rotation thing next year. Now, could I be wrong about that? Could he just come in, smoke everything, and be better than Tristan this year? Sure. There's a possibility that can happen. You know what I'm saying? But just me projecting it, I think Neville needs to get a little bigger, and I think he needs to get a little stronger. Because when you watch him kind of pass rush or whatever, he needs nuance, right? If he beats you off the rip, he beats you. Like with his first step, with his first swipe move, with his first swim move, with that first long arm, if he beats you, he got you. But if you catch him, he's blocked. He needs to learn how to get unblocked once he's blocked. He needs to learn how to reset that rush. You see what I mean? So once he gets that going, then Neville Gallimore will, he'll probably be a little more ready than he is now. Go ahead, Foots.
Right. No, I mean, hey, that's fine because listen, McCoy's your guy.
Sure.
He's gonna play 3, and the question will be, can Neville make it to the 46?
Mm-hmm.
If he does, then he's he'll be in that D-line rotation. So that's fine with me. So my thoughts about this defense, right? Even, not addressing the safety position, not going Caleb Vaughn the whole 9.
Oh God, Foots, timeout. Wait a minute. So we got people in the chat box. Okay, so listen, people in the chat box that say, oh, for sure Neville Gallimore is gonna play. Oh, for sure he's gonna be in the rotation. Let me ask y'all this. Would you start Gallimore over Gerald McCoy? You probably won't. How about this? What about when you got Tyrone Crawford when he's lined up inside at 3 tech? Because y'all just forgot about him. Y'all just forgot all about Tyrone Crawford. What about when he bumps inside to 3 tech? You gonna have Gallimore on the field over him? You probably won't. So it's gonna be Gallimore versus Tristan Hill. So in my projection brain, you ain't finna have 4 3 techs.
Nah, you're not. And I mean,
it ain't gonna happen.
Now here's what we got to figure out: is Crawford a surprise cut?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I'll be honest. If one of these guys outplay him, then he could be.
Then sure, absolutely.
But I see right now today, it makes sense what you're saying.
As of now, we don't know what's going on with Randy and Alden. So as of now, you need Tyrone to play right defensive end because it's him and Dorrance Armstrong and Joe Jackson at this point. And that ain't really what you want to run into this thing on. And then, Gerald can't play every single snap. You know what I'm saying? And so you can bring in one of your pass rush guys, and if you still want to do things versus the run with Tyrone Crawford, then you'll bump Tyrone Crawford at 3 tech. You know what I mean? Like that. He's been doing that since he's been here. So I don't know why we want to create this narrative like that ain't gonna happen this year. You know what I'm saying?
I can't wait to talk about these defensive ends, dog. Oh my God.
We'll get to it. Anyway, I'm getting off on this tangent. People in the chat box making me sick. It's all good. We got 1,300 people watching. That's what happens when Voch and Foots get together on draft night. Things like this happen, man. Foots, salute to you. Did you have anything else on Neville Gallimore?
Nah, man. I mean, honestly, Voch, I just feel like so this is setting up for what I always love, and I think this is Will McClay's thing. Let's let these guys compete. That's
sure.
Listen. And we'll talk about, obviously, we can probably hit it now, Voch, them not bringing in a safety. It goes to your point that I think you were really high on Wilson, correct?
Yes.
Donovan Wilson?
Yes.
So that's fine. You're going to roll with those guys, maybe bring in some undrafted guys, but you're going to roll. Donovan Wilson is going to have every opportunity to be on the field. He's going to have every opportunity to take Clinton Dix's job. So that's kind of what I want because I'll be honest right now, I liked as in past tense, Clinton Dix. I don't love him now. So I want Wilson to take his position and be that playmaker. But when it comes to this D-line rotation and a couple other positions, I love competition.
Sure.
Because if you can compete and win your job, fine. Like that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like there should be nothing given. Nobody should go into training camp, this new regime, and be like, even Tyrone Crawford, he should not feel like he wasn't drafted by McCarthy in this regime. You know what I mean? And Nolan and those guys. So,
sure.
Yeah, they know about the player, but they're optimistic because guess what? This is their first draft.
Right.
So
It's a hell of a
with
first
this
draft.
being their first draft,
It's a hell of
that's
a-
my whole point. So
Yeah.
I just wanted them to compete, man. I'm good. I'm happy with the pick.
Speaking of competition, right? Speaking of competition, whew, I think Reggie Robinson in the 4th round was so impressive. I think Reggie was. I think getting that pick. I think getting him in the 4th round was so impressive. For one, we bringing even more competition to that cornerback room, but it let me further know what we were trying to do on defense, Foots. So when I think about what Reggie brings, to the table, you know, he brings size. We're like 6'1", 6'1", 205. Long as hell.
He's a 2 big corners, dog.
Long as hell, physical.
Big corners.
Physical. This further let me know that we're going to run press man. This further let me know that we're going to be physical at the line of scrimmage. We're going to try to jam these receivers, and we're going to try to run with them. 4-4-40, right? So we got a big, speedy, long corner that's aggressive, that's going to play press man for you. You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of see this thing matching up here. You just see this thing matching up with the kind of guys that we drafted today. I think Cheeto and Jordan Lewis kind of fits that. AB, I don't know. I don't know necessarily for sure. But if anything, if you can say anything is wrong with Reggie, man, his feet ain't the best. The technical nuance ain't the best. Plus, he gambles a little bit, right? Sometimes when you can't rely on technique, sometimes you just guess and gamble. Well, Diggs do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to put both those guys, both those big, fast running corners, both big, fast, physical running corners. You're going to teach them technique. You're going to let them fly, and you're going to let them learn. You're going to let them develop, and they're going to be gunners for you. They're going to play kickoff and tackle for you. They're going to play punt return, all that good stuff. And he's another top 100 player for me. Go ahead, Foots.
So with Robinson, I'll be honest, I was late to the party.
Okay.
And catching up, you hit it on the head. And the ball production is there. I believe 4 picks this year.
4 picks and 13 deflections.
Yeah, so I was about to get to the passes defense.
Yeah.
That's the one. Guys, I just want players that are going to play the ball, man.
Yeah.
Like, too many times, and Al Harris was extremely excited about these guys. Too many times, Voch, our DBs aren't playing the ball. They're in position.
Mm-hmm.
They're not being athletes.
Right.
And that's why we're getting to these situations where we're not having turnovers. We're not like Cheeto's never really burnt. Like there's nobody really running past Cheeto.
Sure.
But he's there and the ball just like gets taken away from him. Sure. And so to me, that's like, I don't know if that can be coached up. I don't know, Voch. Like I coach my DBs on my team. Like, I don't know. It's like some guys just have instincts and some guys don't.
Sure. And
the whole point is, yes, a lot of people I see people in the chat boxes coaching. That's fine. But at this point, I do like a guy in a Robinson who I've seen do it on film. The competition is probably my only question. Sure. But at the end of the day, I get the pick because you're looking at the traits, you're looking at the comp, you know what I mean? The 4-4 is special.
Yeah.
So guys that are big that can run. So hey, to me, come in, compete. Again, compete. Kind of like what Michael Jordan did last year. Sure. Michael Jackson, compete. Yeah. Come in, compete. That's my thing.
Then it also depends on the defense you're running, right? Like if he's if he's not the most technical player, if he's, if he doesn't have the best, whatever, technique or whatever, right? It depends on what you run. Like if you're running a press man cover 1, cover 0, you might have some problems because if he ain't got no safety help, that could be a big play. But if you running cover 2, then you good. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So when somebody hits him with them, with them double moves or whatever, long as you got somebody just hanging over the top like hilarious Clinton Dix, right? Long as you got somebody just hanging over the top, he's fine. Let him be fine. Put him on the defensive right side so he can be on the free safety side, and that'll be his help. He's good. And you can put your more sound guy on the other side, right? And we think about Xavier Woods, who played free safety for us. If Xavier Woods is going to be strong safety with hilarious Clinton Dix is going to be free safety, then if you're running too high, then you got two free safeties that can play strong safety. You see what I mean?
Yeah, so I think with a player like him, I think if he makes the 53, you like, wow. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
But it's possible. You know, you see the traits. He would have to go to camp and be special. But I think Diggs has more of a chance. Obviously, second round pick, he has more of a chance to play early.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean, more or less. That doesn't mean more or less that, Robinson can't get on for sure.
Man, listen, folks. We got Large Nation in the chat box. We got a Koye Media in the chat box. We got
homies,
stars.
man.
The stars, they coming to watch us. We got stars coming to watch us talk draft. But that's what we do around here.
Hey, man, both my guys, man. Both I can't wait to see, you know what I'm saying, what Okoye puts up as far as film-wise, his takes on these guys.
Oh, brother, man. Koye doing film now. Koye putting out film now. He ain't just waiting once a month like he used to. He putting it out now. So,
hey, man, do it, man, because y'all, listen, my time's so taken up with these kids, man. I watch them and then go and get y'all's takes, man. And y'all know what it is, man, with me, man. I love it.
So, first, let me ask you a question before we move on from this. How many cornerbacks you think we take on game day?
Oh,
like six, maybe? Like 6 corners and maybe 3 safeties, maybe?
I'm going, but I was for between 5 and 6. It depends on if you have a guy who can do both.
Sure.
Here's the deal. Cheeto's a lock. AB's a lock because they can play outside, inside.
Yeah.
J. Lou.
Jordan is 3. Yeah.
Jordan is 3.
Yeah.
Those other 2 are up for grabs.
Yeah.
You want to say Diggs is a lock for the game day roster.
That's 4.
If nothing else, to be special teams the whole 9. Who gets that other one?
So in my mind, I think 4th round pick takes I'm trying to find a word, like precedence over what Kennedy brings. Like Kennedy can go. Like he's probably not gonna be here. What's my guy name from Alabama that was playing in the Arena League or something like that? He can go. He probably won't be here. So it'll probably be the last 2 would be Goodwin and Robinson, and we just gonna run those guys. Westry, I think Westry still has enough practice squad eligibility where you could just kind of like hang on to him.
The problem with Westry is he has no idea how to play the position.
He don't know what's going on.
And and he still plays so high.
Yeah.
He has the athletic ability. He just plays high.
Sure.
So I mean I get he's 6'4" the whole 9, but I don't see him making this team, to be honest with you.
I'm thinking 6 corners and 3 safeties on game day. Not for everybody to necessarily play defense, but we gonna need some gunners, man. And hell, if anything, Reggie got 4.4 speed. So if anything, he can go be a gunner for you or something like that. But anyway, let's move on. So at this point, we got Reggie. I was really excited, but Foots, the next 2 picks. These put the satin on the panties.
Can we just do a drum roll, please? Especially Voch. I'm gonna let you take this one. I have very little to say about this one. Oh, but Bradley and I.
We'll talk about it.
I may need 30 minutes on him.
Man, you can do whatever you want to do, man.
Drum roll.
Listen, y'all. Voch says these things, man. At the end of the day, I just want y'all to listen, man. Y'all ain't gotta. I'm not no godly football figure, nothing like that. I just want you to at least consider my thoughts, my position, my point of view, my perspective. At least consider it, and don't just fuss with me all the time just because you can. I know a lot of y'all fuss with me just because you can. I just want y'all to listen. I think you should take an offensive lineman every year. They ain't always got to be in the same position. You can take a tackle sometimes. Take a guard sometimes. Take a center sometimes. Why? Because there are 11 positions on offense. 5 of them is the line. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the damn percentage, but that's a little under 50%. Why would you risk the unit that's right up under 50%, like let's say 46%? Why would you half step at a unit that's 46% of your offense? We've seen how you can have 3 Pro Bowlers on your line, but if Chaz Green out there, the offense don't move. So let's not half-step it when we're talking about offensive line here. We drafted Connor McGovern last year. You didn't think you needed Connor McGovern last year.
Yeah.
But when Travis Frederick in the middle of February just up and say, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired, man. I just want to be with my family and recover. I'm not the center y'all think I am. I don't want to live off old bodies. I want to down my shield. I'm Leonidas at the end. I'm not going to kneel. I'm going to throw my spear at you, and the arrows will block out the sun. And Travis Frederick bows out gracefully. Instead of us panicking saying, damn, what we gonna do at center? We had a guy in Connor McGovern that we felt really good about and say, you know what, Connor McGovern can play center. So cool. Moving into this draft now. Moving into 2020 draft now. You know, if I say we should draft the offensive lineman every year, just, you know, no matter where you can get them at, we could just draft the offensive lineman just, you know what I'm saying, once a year just to kind of see.
Correct.
So we go and we draft. First of all, the Eagles are on the clock. And the Eagles make a trade with us. One of our 5th round picks and a 5th next year to move up to the end of the 4th. Before I move on with my breakdown, relax, because that 5th round pick going to even out because we got comp picks next year. So that ain't really going to hurt us like talking about. So we move up to the end of the 4th round and we get Tyler Biadasz. I didn't always know how to say his name, so a couple months ago, I just started calling him Tyler Badass. But even though I still know his name, I'm just going to keep calling him Tyler Badass. I never was anticipating Tyler Badass being on this team because where I thought you had to draft him,
it was too rich.
It was too rich for us because we was trying to go defense. You know what I'm saying? Rich. And I didn't want to go too high on an offensive lineman when we were trying to get corner and all that kind of stuff, right? So Tyler Badass is sitting at the end of the 4th round. And we pull the trigger on him, and I screamed.
Yeah, that was the pick. That's when things got good.
That's a top 100 player. That's my center number 3. And that's like my offensive line, like 14 or something, roughly. Yeah. That dude, what he brings to you, and I don't know what the damn pundits is saying. They were saying, oh well, you know, I don't really like his movement, but he's really tough. He's really tough and da 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 ba da. Listen, man, he's gonna line up and get everybody else lined up. You see him calling out the mic so his quarterback doesn't have to. You see him calling out the slide so his offensive line can understand what's going on. You see him identifying the fronts so that everyone can adjust the pass pro scheme. Right? Then when we get into the actual blocking, I'm going to drop a film session right after this live stream of Wisconsin versus Ohio State. Why did I pick that game? Because it was going against Devon Hamilton. He was drafted in the 2nd round this year. One Tech, Devon Hamilton, and he was moving Devon Hamilton. He was moving him.
I need that box. Drop that heat.
He was moving him. And then when they said that he couldn't move, we saw Tyler Badass. We saw him in the inside zone. We saw him running outside zone. We saw him getting to the 2nd level blocking linebackers. We saw what I like about him the most is we like to pull Travis Frederick. Badass can pull.
So
and he hit people when he get there.
I was about to say that's what I love the most.
He hit people when he get moving.
What I love the most was that what I love the most about him was that he can move. Mm-hmm. Like he can pull. His hips are really good. You know what I mean? The my only knock on him was from everything that I've read in Voch, you know the player, I'm not gonna lie, is I knew centers are gonna get lost in the draft. Sure. Especially if you're not, Ruiz, yes. Okay, Ruiz is gonna go high. I get it. But centers are gonna get lost in the draft because let's be honest, it's not a sexy position. Yeah. Scouts will always say, "Oh, you can get a center next round. Oh, you can," and scouts will fight for their guy. Yeah. The only thing I've read is the inconsistency, and I'm gonna
defer to you, Voch.
Yeah, sometimes he can get a little leany. But first, let me tell you why he leans. Because he gets so caught up in these fights sometimes, he just want to hit the hell out of people, right? He just want to deliver blows sometimes, right? To where if you're a defensive tackle and you can anticipate that, then he'll just quick move, swim over the top of you. I showed that in the film too, so I'm dropping that directly after this. But sometimes he'll get so physical that his shoulders would just get over his toes and he'll just start to lean a little bit. You know what I mean? But besides that, though, you encourage that physicality because for the most part, centers ain't all that physical. Shouts out to Joe Looney, but Joe Looney was hiding amongst this offensive line. But when we played the Rams and we couldn't hide him anymore because they got two good D tackles, and Ndamukong Suh just kind of picked them up and moved them, and Joe Looney was exposed a little bit. One thing I like is that you're not going to move Connor McGovern like that, and you're not going to move Tyler Badass like that. That's what I like about him the most. The only reason I put Ruiz over him is that Ruiz kind of played with a little more balance. Ruiz was he was on the ground a little bit less. You know what I'm saying? But Tyler wasn't on the ground because
you don't want linemen on the ground. Yeah,
he wasn't on the ground because he was overpowered. He just got his shoulders over his toes a little bit. But that can come with coaching. You can wean them out of that. I've seen coaches fix that in guys, right? So currently with our offensive line situation, this is where we at. Connor McGovern was your center. Connor Williams was your left guard. Tyron Smith was your left tackle. Connor Williams, he got a fight coming now. Connor Williams got a fight coming now because we don't necessarily need Connor McGovern to play center now. So this is where I'm at with it. It's a three-way competition. 3-way competition between McGovern, between Williams, and between Badass. And McGovern is going to be your flex guy. So what it is that if Badass can be a better center than McGovern, then McGovern is going to compete with Williams. If McGovern is a better center than Badass, then McGovern is going to play center until Badass is ready, right? But this is the one thing I like about this, right? Because I know somebody goofy as hell gonna say, "Well, Voch, do we just trade Connor Williams?" No, don't trade your picks because this is what can happen. One day, Tyron Smith may wake up in the middle of training camp and go, "Man, I'm tired." Just like Travis said.
Yeah.
So at that point, you move Connor Williams as right to left tackle. You put Connor McGovern at left guard. You put Tyler Badass as center, and you run your offense.
Yeah.
Shouts out to the Cowboys for doing the right thing. And y'all know how I feel about these Wisconsin offensive linemen.
So dang, you just beat me to it, Voch, and I got caught up and just listened to you. I wanted to ask you.
Go ahead, my guy.
Does him being from Wisconsin just secure the safeness of this pick even more for you?
Shit. What you mean? Absolutely. Indubitably. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a handful of places where you know if offensive line coming from there is looking good for you. Iowa, Wisconsin, just those tough, Minnesota got some good offensive linemen coming out now. Mississippi State produced good tackles. There's a handful of factories that just produce good offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? Wisconsin's one of those. And just one more thing, man. I was saying, and I promise I'm gonna let you go first. I just get real offensive line-y when offensive line is on the board. It's about to get real weird for guys like Joe Looney.
So that's honestly, Voch. I mean, hey, I've tossed you. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing you the alley-oop on this because you know the player. Mm-hmm. I just want to know depth-wise. Okay, all these swing guys, somebody got to be, stamped at this point.
Sure.
I need to know. Chat box, help us out. Who's making this team?
So as of now, let me just write this down. You already know Tyron Williams. Let me skip this. We don't even know. But let's just say McGovern because I think that's safe. McGovern, Martin, and Layell. That's safe. I'm not saying that they starting. I'm just saying they safe. Okay? I think Badass is also safe. We just got him and we paid premium money for him. You can't just put him on practice squad because somebody just come and sneak the hell out of him. So who is gonna play swing tackle for us? I think that's Brandon Knight. He came in last year in the Packers game when we had some injuries or whatever, and he played pretty okay. So we're gonna put Brandon Knight right there. You know what I'm saying? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 guys. So you really only got room for one more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I will say this though. That's what these two picks are the picks that made your draft. And this is no bias because if you go look at every major scout and especially media scouts, which okay.
Yeah, y'all know how I feel about that.
Yeah, but they do have, if you look at their top 50, top, whatever, their boards, their mocks. Can we transition now to this next player, Voch?
Sure, go ahead.
Bradley and I.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him all the way up to second round picks, Voch.
Yeah.
I saw him second round value. I've seen him in top 100s.
Sure.
I have him in my top 100. I had him ranked as my 5th outside linebacker in a 3-4 scheme.
Sure.
5th or 6th.
Yeah.
I had him over guys like Uche.
Yeah.
I had him over guys. So the point is, you got the steal of the draft.
Yes.
And Bradley and I. Please go watch the Senior Bowl practices and game.
I'm dropping that too. I'm dropping that film too.
You already know I be on it, bro.
I'm dropping
Dude, hey, look. Hey, drop your film, Voch, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Somebody, pull up then. Hey, pull up there in the chat box. Type that one more time. Bradley and I is a dog.
Yes.
And Cowboys fans will soon figure out what a dog looks like and what a leader looks like. Because he's one of these guys that's going to talk that talk, that's going to have Cowboys fans turn. Okay? He's going to have Cowboys fans turned up. Okay? Let's get to the numbers, all right? 13 sacks last year.
Crazy.
Over 30 for his career.
Yeah.
Okay? But it's not just the sacks. It's the tackles for loss.
Mm-hmm.
All right? 14 of those. The solo tackles look good, Voch. Yep. But the big thing about him is the hands and the rush and the drive and the way that he keeps coming.
Sure.
He's not as twitchy as a Caleb Vaughn. I'm not gonna do that to y'all.
Right.
He ain't that. So I'm not gonna ever say that he's that. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Caleb Vaughn different when it comes to that. Yeah. Don't have the bend of a Caleb Vaughn. Right. But he just is a damn good football player, bro. Yeah. Like he's Zach Bond South. Like he's just a football playing Jesse. Go watch the Arizona State game, bro. Yeah. Go watch Bradley and I versus Arizona State. Okay? Mm-hmm. To me, this is the one that says, okay, you don't like what's happening with Gregory or whatever. He's making his team. And by the 5th, 6th game, he's going to be on the field in some type of capacity. Mark my words. That's just the type of player he is, Voch.
Yep. He is he's a top 100 player to me.
Had him in mind.
He's my edge guy number 8. I had him behind Uche, in front of Julian Okwara from Notre Dame. Okay. And I think he fell because, and it's fantastic because it's guys like this that
combine. Let's be honest.
Is guys like this that are gonna fall every year, no matter how productive they are. They're gonna fall because first of all, his arms aren't long, and his 40 time wasn't great. What, he ran like a 4.9 40 or something?
He doesn't. He ran a 4.8.
4.8, yeah.
He doesn't look like a outside linebacker box.
Sure. He's not super quick twitchy guy, but he wins with nuance and technique. That's how he wins. He's not super quick bendy twitchy guy, but he is bursty guy. He has some burst. He's relentless, and he knows how to use his hands, and he knows how to use technique. I'll take that guy. Because if we only gonna ask him to pass rush anyway, then cool. If he's a designated pass rusher, cool. You saw him go against some of the better talent. Hell, Austin Jackson that got drafted 19th overall, he got 2 sacks on him.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a USC. So you can watch him. You can watch the film. And then when you thought, oh, Voch, that's just the Pac-12. He just gonna beat up on the Pac-12 kids. Watch him in the Senior Bowl, and he beat the hell out of the Senior Bowl kids. You know what I'm saying? And
I just saw a great comment in your comment box. Shout out to the comment box, y'all. Shout out to everybody watching this. I think my man Horace in DC is watching this. Anybody in the DMV, man, stand up. Somebody just said this. This is not track. I love that comment, bro. That's real.
It's real talk.
There's not track, bro. It's football.
It's facts.
Like I'm gonna tell you right now. All these guys that everybody's going to their respective team now. Everybody has a team now.
Yeah.
Now is nut hugging time. You are in the room with grown men. Yeah. All that stuff you did at the combine don't mean nothing. Yeah. It don't mean anything anymore, bro. Yeah. You got to go out there and ball. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Byron Jones, he destroyed the combine. 3 years into his career, we thought he was a bust. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Because we didn't have a plan and we didn't use him correctly in the whole nine. So to me, some of these guys they just eat, sleep, breathe football. Mm-hmm. He's one of these guys. I think he has Hawaiian descent. He just, man, I didn't think there's no way he'd be available in the fifth, Voch.
Yeah.
I didn't think there'd be no way he'd be available in the fifth. And that's why you draft. That's why you draft CeeDee Lamb. That's why you tag you. If we're tying this from the front to the back,
sure.
That's why you draft CeeDee Lamb right there.
Take the best guy.
Because you're gonna get the draft has a way of forgetting about, like, damn, I'm gonna not draft this player because he ran a 4.9. Do I need Bradley and I to be, faster than are him and Caleb on Chase on racing?
Sure.
Or do we need somebody who's gonna be a damn good football player?
Sure.
Like he is this team. Listen, McCarthy just got his. I'm not gonna say he's Clay Matthews, but it's the same type player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When the draft was going on, actually, or whatever, when we were done with the third round after we took Gallimore, going into day 3, I was like, oh boy, man, look, Bradley and Nye's on the board. You know what I mean? And this was, I was like, okay, cool. We got corner, we got tackle, we got wide receiver, whatever. Let's get this pass rusher right here in the 4th round. Let's get him right here with this pick. You know what I'm saying? And sure enough, he just kind of hung around. Foots. And he was there, man. He was there in the 5th. So shit, we scooped that ass up, boy.
No, I want him in the 4th.
Yeah.
I said it on one of my videos. I want him in the 4th.
Yeah.
And then so I mean the fact, but it happens, man. It happens every year in the draft. People just kind of, just get forgotten about.
Sure. And in real life though, Foots, like, Alden Smith probably ain't gonna be here next year. We don't know what we're gonna get with him. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Randy, like I said, year to year, we just don't know. I mean, we just waiting on that. So Bradley and I think he comes in day 1 a better pass rusher than Dorrance and Joe Jackson. Day 1.
Sure.
He is a better prospect than those guys, than Dorrance Armstrong and Joe Jackson. I think he's better than them. So and Jalen Jokes, to be fair. Jalen Jokes too. Shit. So we got a fight coming, man. We got a fight. We got training camp gonna be lit. Training camp gonna be fire.
That's where I'm at with it, Voch. Let all of them compete.
I'm going.
Who gonna be like?
I'm going.
Who gonna be? I want to know who gonna be the dog that step up.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, and again, this is this regime's first draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is this regime's first draft. So, to me, these guys are gonna have a leg up. I'm sure they've been on the Zoom calls. Once we get past this COVID stuff and the whole 9.
Stay in the house, y'all, so we can get football, please.
I know, man.
Will y'all stay in the house so we can get football on time? Please don't go to the beach if you're in Florida. Just stay your ass in the house, please.
Man, yeah, just guys. I've told myself one more month. If we can hold tight for one more month, things will start easing up U.S. wide.
Yeah. With
the heat, the whole 9. Yeah. One more month, so we can get these guys to camp, man, in July or whatever the case may have you, and we can get past this stuff, man. Because I'll be honest, even with this COVID stuff, we needed this. We needed this draft this weekend, y'all. I needed this joint, bro. Like, I like the documentaries, the Jordan documentaries, and all that.
Sure.
But I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, let's take questions. I don't even really want to get to the quarterback.
I ain't watch him.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like, who this?
I ain't watching.
Who this?
I ain't watching, and I don't think he's gonna make the team. So
Probably not. Yeah, but shouts out to him though. Maybe he was a guy that that's gonna come in and compete with Rush, or not even compete with him, but just when we don't re-sign Rush, he'll just be that new guy that just kind of hangs around and be the backup quarterback. So I don't know. Look, I wouldn't dare lie to y'all. I wouldn't dare lie to y'all. This is as authentic as I could possibly be. Now, look, will I watch film on him later and give y'all give my thoughts on him later? Like, I will absolutely give my report on him later, but I didn't get into it. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry. And later on, we'll be doing a look at the free agents that we signed as well too, because I know that list is going on right now, but I want that list to be finished by the time I really get into it, because some of these guys can jump from team to team or whatever. So
it's not stamped, and some of these guys, to be honest, some of the guys that you guys are gonna see, I haven't watched, and I don't want to give you guys just a unworthy opinion. I really want to break down. I think Voch, between the YouTube community, and it's important, guys, that you guys, stay up on us, man, because I think the YouTube community has done it. Joe, Voch, Law, Okoye, it will do a good enough job giving you some good, unbiased opinions.
Sure.
On this draft, and then these players moving forward in the battles and the whole nine. So just stay up on that, man.
Yep. Justin asked me how the hell did I know that CeeDee Lamb was going to be there at 17. I didn't, but I just we should learn by now. Y'all should definitely know by now. I'm trying to build this community of draft people that learn their lessons and retain those lessons. We can't just assume that everybody's going to draft the way that they should, or that they're going to draft properly. Seahawks ain't made a good first-round pick in 3 years. Green Bay made a bunch of terrible picks, you know what I mean? So you just never know who's going to fall to you. And, some teams covet other traits. They covet other positions. They're built differently, you know what I'm saying? Or they're looking to build in a certain kind of way. So I just thought CD could fall. I didn't know he was gonna fall, but I just thought he could fall. And shit, I want him on my team. So
yeah, I mean, Voch knocked that out of the park, and he did a great job of switching the narrative and just Cowboys fans. You just did a good job of, like, guys, make sure that you think outside of the box. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'll say this. I was one of the first people to mock Caleb Vaughn to Dallas. When really everybody was just safety, McKinney, the whole nine. Yeah, I was really surprised that all the safeties fell. But I get it. There's trends in football where, right now the running back position and the safety position just isn't as valued anymore.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Teams want to win with good pass rush. Teams want to win with corners that can blanket. And teams want to win with athletic linebackers that can cover the middle of the field. Sure. The middle of the field is where football is being won and lost. So, right now, the safety position, it just isn't its value right now.
Yeah. Somebody asked me about why do we draft the quarterback or whatever. I mean, look, you can do what you want to do with this 7th round pick. It's the 7th round pick. You can do that for traits. You can, they may see something in him that we don't. I don't know, because I haven't watched the film on him. He could be fantastic. I don't know. I was talking to the lady. She said, "You mad that the Cowboys drafted a quarterback in the 7th?" Man, look, we did so good 1 through 6. We could have drafted a damn long snap. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I wasn't tripping.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was like, what? I was like, well, you know what? Lattisaurus getting old, man. We need a long snap. Shit, I was gonna make up a way to make it work. So nah, man. Don't nobody care about us taking quarterback. It don't look like y'all got questions. Let me go over the super chats and we'll get me and Foots up out of here, man. Shouts out to everybody that dropped something in the super chat. Plenty of y'all. Zeus C, he says he wants some war chants. Let me find my button to give you a war chant, sir. Naeem dropped 20 in the super chat. He says he's on a high, man. He's on a hot shit. Me too. Kevin dropped the deuce. Antoine the Great. He says we need more war chant. Shit. Shit. What you mean? What you mean? Shouts out to Joel, drop 5. He says, shouts out to the Lamb reaction. Kevin drop 5. Naeem drop 10. Derek drop 5. He says, this the new era. Let's go, Cowboys. David drop 5. He says, this what happens when Jerry sits on the boat and women hold his phone. Ready for 40 burgers. Nice draft work, Voch and Fuss. Fuss, you really think Jerry Jones kicked all the extra people out and he just kind of ran this with him, Will, and Mike and Steven?
So, no.
All right, cool.
But I do think that he said, if a receiver's there, I'm taking him. Don't argue with me about it.
Hey, fair enough. Sometimes you got to step in and be the boss. Creative Genius dropped a dime in the super chat. He didn't like Trevon Diggs till he realized Al Harris was a DB coach. Now he's cool with that coaching. Yeah, Fuzz, we still got Tony Pollard in all his offense. Cowboy 615 say we still got Tony Pollard. Hey, Tony gonna do something. Tony gonna line up in the slot somewhere. Tony gonna be a backup running back. If Mike McCarthy is the offensive upgrade over Garrett that we think he can be, we should be good to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing was that I would say more or less is that Dallas is they have a plan in their mind to just have an amazing offense. And I'm not mad at that. Yeah. Everybody defense wins championships. Well, it didn't last year. So, the whole defense wins championships, this, that, and the third. I mean, that's good. But where we are in 2020, I think opportunistic defense, great offense can win a championship. You need to turn the ball over more, yes.
Yeah.
But you can do that by having teams play from behind a lot, having teams have to throw the ball. Dallas, listen, we haven't talked about this. We done went through a whole hour. We haven't talked about, guess who benefited from this the most?
Dak.
21.
Zeke, yeah. Zeke. Yep. Good luck. Good luck from a scheming standpoint, right? I was saying earlier, if you are the Eagles and you put Slay on Cooper and you try to double team Gallup and you find something to do with Lamb and you take guys out of the middle so Jarwin's gonna eat, man. I mean, Zeke's still running the football, man. You gonna put CeeDee Lamb, one-on-one with somebody? CeeDee Lamb is notorious for making the first guy miss. Come on, get your life together, y'all.
Yeah. Let's kill that. I'm gonna just say this. Guys, Dez will not be playing for the Cowboys next year.
Yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on from that.
I know you guys love Dez. I love Dez.
Yeah.
Dez, I remember when Dez got drafted. That's how long I've been really locked in.
Yeah.
Dez Bryant will not be playing for the Cowboys. Kill it. It's over.
Dez was my very first Cowboy jersey. Nick G dropped the deuce shots out to him. Antoine Woodward. First, let me ask you a question. Antoine dropped 5 in the super chat. Don't you feel better about 5 years of CeeDee Lamb cheap than Jamal Adams having to pay him tomorrow?
I don't get this Jamal Adams hype, and I just keep it to myself. But I heard somebody say trade Gallup. Are you dumb? Like, no. Like, I'm fine. Like, the defense right now, okay, your defense was ranked what last year, Voch? 11th overall team defense? You have a good enough defense with a great offense to win.
Sure.
So this whole no. Gallup makes this work. What do you know? Like, I'm fine. Guys, every year, these trade rumors, I get it. But, like, I honestly, I really, really like X Woods.
Yeah.
If he can get his hands on a few more footballs, I love X Woods. Like, the only reason why we don't talk about X Woods the way we talk about these other safeties is because he doesn't get turnovers.
Sure.
That's it. I like Jamal Adams, but I'm cool. Like, I'm good. Let's give Donovan Wilson a try. I wanted safety a lot. I did, Voch. But we didn't and still had an A+ draft. I'm good.
Jamal Adams is a dog, but we have safeties that can do what he can do.
That's it.
They may not do it as well as he do it, but they can indeed do the same job he does.
So the problem I have with Jamal Adams is he's not a center fielder.
Yeah.
He's basically a hybrid linebacker.
He's a box safety. He's a full-time box safety.
Yeah, and he's hype and he talks a great game and he's a great player. He's a great player.
Yeah.
But he's not a center fielder.
Sure.
So I'm cool.
I'm gonna wrap these super chats up. Me and you are gonna grade this draft. I'm gonna get us up out of here, man. Let's see. Derek dropped a deuce in the super chat. Appreciate you. Reggie, Nene, and Jason also dropped their respective deuces in there. Jason, I said Jason. Cornelius dropped the 5. He said, "What up, big homie?" He just wanted to say, "Hey, what's happening, dog?" Badass, a now war call. I'm gonna get that for you. Need decent quarterback play to evaluate backups as well. Man, look, if anything happened to Dak, let's just get the first overall pick next year and move on. NWO Matt dropped a deuce in the super chat. We got another deuce up in there. I can't see who that is, but I can scroll back here. MJ dropped a deuce and says he bleeds blue. One war call, we're going to get grades and we going to go. So Cleveland Brown in the chat box asked me, "Yo, Voch, what do you grade this draft?" Well, shit, we got six top 100 players. We got A plus. We got A plus, fam. What you mean? What you mean? I'll even take an A minus if you didn't like the quarterback pick. I don't care about the quarterback pick, but I'll take the A minus if you got a problem with it. But we got an A something. We passed. We graduated. I don't know what you want from me.
So
go ahead, Foot.
So here's the deal when it comes to people say, how can you grade a draft? You got to let it pan out. What you're grading is the value of where you had these guys rated.
Yep.
And where they got drafted and what they will do for your team. That's it.
We're currently grading drafting and projection. We won't know if this class is better than the 2016 class till they play. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know that the 2016 class was as good as it was till they started playing. As of now, this class as a projection, this as grades, this the highest graded draft class I've been a part of. Now, are they the best? I don't know. We'll have to see. But projecting wise,
you can't really grade a draft. You don't want to grade a draft until 2, maybe 3 years afterwards. But
sure,
you want out of this class initially, you want 3 contributors on your team. 4 is an A plus draft initially.
Sure.
Then 2 years from now, you want 3 or 4 starters.
Mm-hmm.
A plus.
Yeah.
3 starters, B plus A. So I think that from this draft, you could very easily have 4 starters from this class. Yes. Absolutely.
Somebody say, is Reggie Davis really deaf in one ear? Yes, but he can run. That's all that matters. Brother Fuster King, this was amazing, brother. This was amazing.
But I'm a hang up. I'm gonna put something out. You guys come to my channel. And then I'm gonna watch your film sessions and go to sleep.
Speaking of which, hey, everybody, right now, first of all, you can follow him at Fuster King on Twitter, Cowboy Nation TV on YouTube. Check out all the work he's gonna do. He got reactions. He's gonna be putting some evaluations up there. He's gonna grade these players individually. I trust him. So y'all go over there and check him out. Check out his music also, Foots Times Codes. And I'm Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I'm about to head over to this other tab. Okay. I'm about to line it up real. I'm about to shine it up real good and turn it sideways and hit that bam on y'all ass. We got a Tyler Biadasz. I call him Badass. Tyler Badass. I don't like Biadasz. Biadasz is whack. Badass is better. We got a Tyler Badass film session that's active right now. Y'all leave this stream. Y'all run over there and watch it. And in the chat box, tell me that you coming from the stream. You can go hashtag stream gang, whatever you want to say. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski and the Peasky Weesky. This was fantastic, man. Peace.